What would you say to someone who is new getting into this line of work?
I would say that some of the most important things, and this is true no matter where you work, is A, you need to be on time every day. You need to be there every day. These these are important no matter where you are. In the trades, I think a lot of times it's even more important. So if you're working on a job site and they're bussing everybody on and off of the job site, if you're the guy that's there 15 minutes late every day, you've already missed the bus, and now you became the guy that the safety guy has to drive to the parking lot to get. Or that maybe it's a collection point, and once you've missed the bus, there is no getting to the site that day. Punctuality is key. It is the most important thing. I don't care if you work at 7-Eleven or if you want to be a tradesman. If you're going to be 20 minutes late every day, you're not going to have a job for very long. So punctuality is very important. Work ethic is very important. Having pride in what you do, for sure. Having some pride in what you do and showing up ready to go to work every day.
Talking about showing up ready. That doesn't mean it is 7 o'clock and you're rolling on site for the toolbox. That is, you show up maybe 10, 15 minutes early. You have your morning cigarette, your coffee, your boots are tied, your gear is on and
That's
ready.
right. You've got your coveralls, you got your gear, you're ready to go. In some settings, you're not allowed to have your coveralls in the lunchroom. Contractor knows that, but they still expect your work boots are tied, you're ready to go, you're there, you're on time, you're not that guy flying in last minute, the toolbox talk is starting, and you're just coming in the room with your hair all over the place and you got your lunch bag over your
But you had
shoulder.
enough time
Just
to go to
barely.
Tim Hortons and grab
But
a
yeah,
coffee.
but you've got a coffee and a sandwich. Yeah, there's not a lot of sympathy out there for that guy that comes in late all the time. We're part of a team, and they expect the whole team to be there on time and ready to go.
Punctuality, attendance, work ethic, and taking pride are the four main pillars you would say to new people coming into this industry.
100%. Taking pride in what you do. Be on time. Be prepared. Be ready to go. Definitely something that might have been okay when I started out, but showing up because of self-inflicted wounds from the night before. There is no sympathy for showing up hungover, still under the influence. Those days are gone, and you need to be prepared to go to work and in a state of mind and ready for that.
I think one more thing I would probably add to that is I don't know if you want to call it accountability or integrity. If you fuck up or you make a mistake, own it.
Own
Just
that
be
mistake.
so upfront. Like, hey man, I broke the saw. I dropped this. I literally just cost you $10,000 because I dropped a tile. Own it. Don't play it off stupid. You will have so much more forgiveness and understanding, and people will hold you to such a higher standard if you just roll up and you're like, I hope you're having a good day because I'm about to make it really bad.
Right?
That goes such a long ways, and it's such a rare trait. Fine. From the time you got into the industry to the position you're in now, what are things that you have seen change, and what are some things you'd like to or hopefully see change?
So the biggest change I've seen in my lifetime is safety gear from the beginning when I first come in and I see the first North mask and we're told you get one set of filters, it's got to last all week, or maybe it's got to last the whole shutdown. You take those filters out and you go over there, and when they seem like they're plugged, it's okay. You just go blow them with the air compressor. You blow a little compressed air through those filters, they'll clean them right out, and you can use them again. To the point where you change the filters every time you come out of the unit. So I'd say the biggest change I've seen in my career is safety. The advancements in safety. Some of the older tradesmen in our province definitely didn't have the protections that were offered today. The safety for your own health, for your body, the fall protections, the stuff that might not have been so predominant in the past. Talking to old members where they used to wear a wet rag over their face opposed to having a respirator. They came in and they would just wet napkin over their face to knock the dust down, to us progressing to where we have filters and masks, making it so that it's a lot safer. So that is the very biggest change. The other thing that's changed is I see it being harder and harder all the time to recruit people into the trades.
Why do you think that is?
Because everybody wants to be a social media influencer. No,
I'll
because
tell you.
everybody thinks they're going to be the IT guy, so everybody's got a computer. There's not as much hands-on stuff out there.
I've got a question for you, actually. Your generation, I'm guessing you're on the early end of Gen X.
Yeah,
Okay, so millennial, very
right,
different generations. I'm like on the tail end of millennial, like I'm a young millennial.
right.
So I'm old enough that I have a kid. You're old enough that you probably have kids or even potentially
And
grandkids.
grandchildren, yeah.
Okay. Do you think that it's harder to get people into the trades because of maybe there's lack of motivation, ambition, or things of that nature? Or where we went through the bullshit, like the hazing, the abuse, the abs, like, and the horrendous safety culture that once was, where it was like, no, absolutely the fuck not. I will never put my kid through this. And you
For sure.
look back at some of these industries, I'm not even gonna say company names, and that shit still thrives. And it's still very much alive in certain industries, I should say.
That, and I also see it as there's also actually, even when you went out to the high schools up until recently, it was it was only in the last 2 years even really that the high schools are exposing the students to realize that there's more than just one or two trades out there. So really, if you went to high schools for the most part, you knew that there was a mechanic because he had to fix the car. You knew there was the auto body technician because they had that at the school, and you knew about carpentry.
Mm-hmm.
And you might know a little bit about because they might have a welding shop, they might have the auto body shop, they might have the
Maybe
auto
a little bit of
mechanics.
electrical, maybe
Maybe that's going to be very little, but that was about it.
three or
And
four trades
yeah,
tops.
you're not going to get exposed to a lot of trades, and it's only recently now that the schools are starting to put up like the Alberta Building Trades posters in where it'll show all the different trades that are out there that the kids are actually starting to get a little bit more exposure to it. The other thing is, I would say that in my generation, you went to school and you had a teacher that would yell out, "Stop messing around in my classroom! You're going to be end up to just be a stupid plumber." And it was kind of frowned upon. For some reason, they didn't think we should be tradesmen.
Or garbage man,
Yeah,
or
yeah, you're going to be all these things, but they didn't realize that the guy that was the garbage man was in the Teamsters union and he was doing just fine. Or the guy that you called the dumb plumber was a tradesman and he had a trade and he was doing just fine. He was actually providing and making a fair living wage and he was feeding his family just fine. And so I think that we suffered through that era of teachers now, whereas no, you still have a lot of teachers and guidance counselors that think that the only way to carry on in life is if you go to university or college. I think that tradesmen deserve their respect just because they didn't go to university or college. They still went to trade school. Geez, let's be honest. You come away as a tradesman without owing somebody $500,000 for your education. You got to you got to earn while you learn. You're already 3, 4, 5, 6 years ahead of your friends that went to
you're
university.
you're paid to travel. Like so a commercial guy, if you want that 40, 50 hours a week, you can be home every night with your family. Maybe you're single, you're young, you're fresh out of high school. You want to work in British Columbia and you want to see the entire coast. Guess what? You can do that as a
You
tradesman.
sure
You
can.
want to go work in New Brunswick, Newfoundland, PEI, stay out there for a year. Maybe you want to go work in New York. These are all things that you can do. Like you don't have to stay in one place.
No,
You want to
that's
go and work
true.
in Australia for a summer? You can.
You could, yeah. There's opportunities. In my career, I had opportunities to go to multiple different places. I didn't go to a lot of them, but there was opportunities to go all over the world. You know, our members do. Some of our members went down to Africa a couple of years ago, did a big job there, a big refactory job there. Our members have gone to places like Qatar